everybody, and welcome to this special on Uranus going into Taurus that happens on the 1st of June at 10:07 a.m. Uranus is going to stay in Taurus, and then it goes retrograde in Taurus on the 1st of September at 3:18 p.m. Then Uranus enters Aries on the 13th of December at 5:38 a.m. So while we're blessed with Uranus in Taurus for the next, 4 to 5 months, even though partly it's going to go into retrograde as well. But it's also because when a planet, especially Uranus, typically what happens is it goes into Taurus and it goes back into the sign that it was in before, Aries, and then it stays in Taurus again. Then it goes back into Taurus again, and it's going to stay there for about 7 years pretty much. So yeah, Uranus in Taurus brings significant shifts and disruptions in our stability, material possessions, and anything else that we count on. So whether it be a love relationship, a career, we may just find ourselves experience a bit of turbulence in the things that we thought were secure. When Uranus was in Aries, it was all about being individual and going for it, trying out new things. While it's in Taurus, it wants to bring more grounding energy to us. So Taurus is an earth sign, and it's associated with comfort, security, love, beauty, inner value. Uranus is the planet of innovation and sudden changes, and them coming together brings a dynamic, potentially turbulent energy into our lives. So Uranus in Taurus can bring unusual financial dealings. So this is when you can take a risk. Start that side hustle, continue that side hustle, begin to hone down on your side hustles. Risk is the key word of Uranus in Taurus, so literally digging dirt, turning it into gold and wealth. You may think, hey, you know what? I've lived life for 30, 40 years, whatever. What is it I got? Well, you've got life experience. How can you turn your life experiences into a side hustle or into a venture that can bring more income or stability into your life, or to make you have better relationships with other people or yourself? Ultimately, that's the key theme of Uranus in Taurus. Of course, I dig deep into all areas, so I'm gonna, talk about how it affects our career, our family relationships, the karmic reasons, and the aspects that Uranus is making this year as it goes into Taurus, and all of that sort of thing, So some of the things that can happen, the key words of Uranus energy is that it can, and of course Uranus rules Aquarius and co-rules Saturn as well, so it allows us to be innovative, be ambitious, sudden changes, unusual encounters, seek adventure. Separation can come, we can tap into that inner genius. Specific life events that can happen right now, divorce, separation, allows us to be more spontaneous, futuristic, looking into alternative ideas, especially when it comes to on the lines of technology and stuff like that. The ways we communicate, coming up with new ways in our communications, in our research, and also in our sexual expression as well. It allows us to think about who we are and refine that, and to change that according to our authentic needs and desires. And in astrology, Uranus rules our ankles, so looking after your ankle health, because with our ankles, if you damage your ankles you can barely walk, so just looking after your feet in general and your ankles, and taking that sort of deeper look. Sometimes we look on the surface, but x-raying, going down into the deeper layers of ourselves and the world, and what you want, and how you are showing up in your relationships in general, and how you're just showing up to yourself as well. So ultimately, Uranus energy is the great awakener. Alan Leo, great astrologer, this is what he called it, and it works through action, so our willpower and our feeling and thought, so unifying our mind, body and soul, or higher consciousness, and allowing ourselves to find inspiration in the unusual, and basically jumping out of our comfort zones. So yeah, it reminds us to challenge the status quo and reassess our values and our relationship with money, resources and environment. As I said, it can lead to unexpected financial up and downs, economic upheavals. We're seeing a lot of cost of living and, uncertainty as well. So there'll be boom and bust periods, because of course Uranus is going to be in Taurus for the next 7 years eventually after it's retrograde, going into Aries for a bit and then going back into Taurus. So ultimately this transit invites us to embrace being flexible, adaptable, and have more of a willingness to embrace new approaches to changing our lives and bringing stability, especially financial security, material security, and individual security, which is self-love and being authentic in your sense of self and awareness. So yeah, as I said, on the practical level, it can bring changes in the realm of our finances. It disrupts traditional economic systems and challenges conventional approaches to money management. And as we've seen, there's been a lot of changing in our structures worldwide. So it means that we may be thinking of a new way collectively to spread money, to use money, and to earn money as well. So it encourages us and organisations to adapt to innovative and unconventional strategies, as I said in the intro, to sort of like embrace the change in, life, in people, mindsets and stuff like that. So as Uranus is associated with technology and Taurus is linked to tangible resources, this transit sparks advancements in financial technology especially. So starting a business in that area or investing in that area, remember, never gamble more than what you can risk to lose, So there may, as I said, be introduction or continuing of the introduction of new ways of banking, investing and managing wealth, because we've had Bitcoin recently and stuff, and people looking into alternative ways of spreading wealth and using wealth. So yeah, we may have more digital currencies, or you never know, with us humans we may radically go back into just wanting to use cash, or who knows, we may decide to just get rid of cash altogether, who knows. So yeah, it's crucial during this time to stay informed, remain adaptable, flexible, and be prepared to embrace new opportunities that come up from the shifting financial paradigm. Yeah, on the worldly, materialistic level, it can bring innovation in the area of our resources. So this can be personal resources. Individually, we may look at the things that are robbing us of our time and start to think about using our time, our energy more wisely. So this may be, I don't want to do toxic relationships, so I don't want to have, lots of friends on social media who are not really my friends. It's about homing down onto what really matters to you and growing in the areas of awareness and being more aware of the limited nature of natural resources, which we are with climate change and all the things going on with the way we are farming animals and all the rest of it as well, but also the limited nature of your personal resources. As I said, we've only got 24 hours in the day, so we may start thinking as a collective how to reduce waste in our life and also in our planet more. So more stronger recycling efforts, more development of alternative energy sources. It encourages advancements in technology that maximizes resource utilization and minimize, environmental impact. So it's about, properly using our resources on a global level. So we may see a lot of new startups and existing ones coming more and more popular, as well as we see with the new healthy eating and people turning to alternative eating lifestyles like veganism, plant-based and all the rest of it. But remember that we need essential nutrients as well, so just make sure you are taking in all the vitamins, minerals that you need to sustain your body and stuff always. So yeah, this can include the development of renewable energy systems, eco-friendly manufacturing processes, and the exploration of new ways to use and preserve essential resources. Also, the transit of Uranus in Taurus presents an opportunity not only for us as individuals but industries and governments to prioritise sustainability and embrace groundbreaking approaches that ensure long-term availability and prudent management of all planetary resources, including human beings and the animals and the trees and all the other good stuff that comes from nature that sustains our televisions, mobile phones and that, because without essential components from the earth we wouldn't have these things. So we have to, we may, Uranus is futuristic energy, and we are moving into the, in the AI era now, and we love our technology. Most of us have our phones strapped to us 24/7, but still, if we don't look after the natural resources, we won't be able to make these things as well. So balance is needed, and Uranus in Taurus is wanting us to have that balance and to use our resources wisely. Politically, it wants us to sort of like challenge traditional norms, so we may see this more in the political field, especially, establish hierarchies and systems and governments and stuff like that as well. There can be an increase in the demand for more equal governance, control and spread of wealth. It inspires more grassroots movements and social activism aimed at addressing systematic injustices and demanding equal rights for marginalised groups. It encourages political leaders to re-evaluate existing policies and institutions, creating a climate of progressive change and revolutionising social structures to better reflect the needs and aspirations of the people they serve. There is an emphasis on creating transparency, accountability and participatory decision-making processes, as well as embracing innovative approaches to governance that prioritise social justices, inequality and the welfare of all citizens. Uranus in Taurus empowers individuals and communities to mobilise, demand change and contribute to the reshaping of political systems to create a more fair and just and inclusive, diverse society for all people, regardless. This is what Uranus in Taurus wants us to do. So on the spiritual, esoteric level, it's a call to awaken to higher consciousness, higher ways of being with ourselves and others. It wants us to transcend the limitations of ego and logic. Sometimes, can get us in the way of experiencing the deeper spiritual aspect of life and ourselves. So it sort of like awakens us to a holistic sort of like experience, wanting us to look at all sort of like realms of our existence there, the material, the mind, the rational, the physical, the biological, but also the spiritual, ethereal, unknown as well, in safe and grounded ways. So ultimately, over the next 7 years, we are encouraged to explore the depths of our spiritual nature in grounded ways, and it invites us to question our beliefs and values and perceptions and seek a deeper understanding of the interconnectedness of all things, reminding us that, finding the right techniques for us, such as meditation, mindfulness, yoga, tai chi, breath work, and all the other tools that are spread across all the spiritual and religious sort of disciplines in our world, picking the right ones for you that can help you expand your consciousness and tap into the higher realms of awareness. It also encourages us to explore esoteric teachings and ancient wisdom traditions, as well as, embracing the future, yes, but also looking at the past and what can be learned from it in our human history, because I feel if we did that a lot more, we wouldn't get so frightened over the things that happen on the global scale, and we'd be able to navigate life a lot more better anyway. So digging into subjects such as astrology, numerology, tarot can be helpful, and anything that help you gain insights into the mysteries of yourself and your life, and also your place within it as well. So ultimately, in the spiritual level, it wants us to embrace spiritual growth and to embark on a journey of awakening or continuing the work of achieving higher levels of consciousness. Psychologically, it wants us to break old patterns and reminds us to examine our ingrained habits, beliefs and thought patterns that no longer serve our evolution and growth. So Uranus is the planet of innovation and revolution, and it challenges us to step out of our comfort zones and embrace change, to ask questions, especially about the things that we follow because everyone else does it, breaking out of conformity and following the status quo, and what the newspapers or the media tells us to live up to, and finding out who we want to be in this world and showing up as that, basically. So yeah, we are urged to release limited beliefs and behaviours that keep us stuck in repetitive cycles. So, you know, a lot of the times why we stay in toxic situations, whether it be relationships, is because we have to change the toxicity within us. And even if you feel, oh, I'm not toxic, well, if you are always moaning about your friends, family and people, and of course you can't change them, but what you can do is change how you allow them to affect you. You can change the people you allow in your life. You can change the amount of time you spend with people that are disrupted to your energies, and so on and so on. So yes, seeking out therapy and counselling to gain insight into your subconscious patterns and work towards transforming all toxicity in thought, behaviour and relating to self and others. And by breaking these old psychological, spiritual and emotional patterns, we can open ourselves up to new possibilities and experiences that can ultimately lead to personal growth and liberation. So yeah, on the symbolic and creative level, it wants us to embrace our unique self-expressions, tap into our individuality and express ourselves authentically. So as I said, Uranus is known for its unconventional energy, pushing us to embrace our unique talents, passions and creative abilities. So Uranus in Taurus inspires us to break free from social expectations and other expectations, as I said, and embrace our true selves. It's a time to explore different forms of artistic, creative expression or personal self-expression as well. So whether it be, you know, getting a new hairstyle, changing your clothes, whatever, and also, you know, creativity, whether it be painting, writing, gaming, listening to music, creating a game, you know, or any other creative outlet that ignites your soul and makes you feel alive, you know. And by embracing your unique self-expression, taking slow and steady steps, because, you know, Taurus energy grounds us and allows us to, you know, persevere and take it nice and slow and steady, we can, you know, embrace our unique self-expression that can be found if we're, you know, willing to resolve our psychological, emotional and spiritual traumas and manage them as well, and tap into our creativity and inspire others to do the same as well. And it reminds us ultimately that our individuality is something to be celebrated and shared with the world, and also taking time for ourselves to allow for personal growth and fulfillment, you know. On the emotional level, we can have unexpected shifts in our relationships, whether that be with our relationship with ourselves or with others. So yeah, we can have unexpected shifts in them, but I'll go into deeper about relationships more. But yeah, that can sort of like disrupt the stability and routines in our relationships, leading to sudden and unforeseen developments. So this can manifest as the end of certain relationships or the emergence of new connections that challenge our existing dynamics. Emotionally, these shifts can be both exhilarating and unsettling as we navigate through uncharted new territory, new experiences, new people, and we have to adjust to this change, this new, this unknown, you know. It is important to approach these changes with openness and flexibility, allowing ourselves to explore new possibilities and grow through, you know, the transformative experience which Uranus and Taurus can be. And as I said, while these shifts may be outside of our comfort zone, feel disruptive, ultimately, if we're open to it, it can lead to greater alignment with our true selves and the formation of deeper, more authentic connections. It is time to embrace the emotional journey and trust that the universe is guiding you towards the relationships that are meant to be in your life. So now I'm going to talk about the positives and negatives and the best use of Uranus in Taurus. So as I said, positively, it allows us to be innovative in our money making and material stability finding, to explore our inner creativity, to embrace change. It encourages us to break free from old patterns and embrace new ways of thinking and living and being. And it can bring unexpected experiences that bring surprising opportunities for growth and transformation. But negatively, as I said, because it can be disruptive, this can be challenging because these sudden changes can bring unnecessary upheavals, you know, people coming and going or things that we thought was certain go in and stuff like that, and this can be unsettling. It can make us have this sense of restlessness, and because of this we can just be unstable within ourselves and in our relationships as well. So we have to do things that ground ourselves and to just sort of be restless a bit, because restlessness says, hey, we need to get out of this comfort zone or this comfort relationship, or this comfort career, whatever. But within that as well, we need to find a stable base and do things to ground us in this instability, if you get what I'm trying to say. So on the bright side, it can sort of allow us to shed old beliefs, embrace fresh beliefs and perspectives, leading to personal growth and evolution. So yeah, the best use of this energy is to use it for creative plans, pushing through them projects that you may have, been trying to complete for years or decades. Come up and start new innovative projects. Focus on your personal growth. Being open to unconventional ideas, new approaches to living your life, and new people as well, because sometimes we can resist change, and people that are outside of our comfort zone that can actually help us with our personal growth as well. So the key to navigating this transit lies in embracing change with an open heart and a willingness to explore new possibilities and to work hard for what you want. Uranus in Taurus is all about embracing the unpredictable. The unpredictable is going to come because Uranus is involved, but Taurus brings the stability to overcome those storms. So this is the best thing to do. So now I'm just going to talk about the aspects that Uranus makes when it enters Taurus this year and how they positively and negatively affect us. And as I said, these aspects are going to flavour the whole period that Uranus is in Taurus for the next 7 years. So at the time of going into Uranus, Mercury makes a conjunction with Uranus, Mars makes a semi-sextile to Uranus, and Uranus makes a square to the ascendant. So Mercury's conjunction to Uranus supports innovative thinking and communication, and us being open to unconventional ideas and ways of being, and thinking outside of our comfort zone and box, especially when it comes to financial matters. So this should be your key words. How can you make yourself more materially stable and secure? And this doesn't necessarily mean increasing wealth or anything like that. It can just mean, being grateful for what you have and doing the inner work to just be secure within yourself. Mercury semi-sextile to Uranus allows us to take those bold actions, be courageous, to shake up our financial sort of mindset, and to embrace the financial stability that can come and be like, okay, money's changed, let's think of a new way to make money, sort of thing, Oh, I've lost this possession, let's embrace a new way of living and enjoying what I do have now, Oh, I've lost this relationship, okay, that's good. How can I go about finding a better relationship for myself, or becoming my own best lover, So because this aspect is separating as Uranus goes into Taurus, we have to watch out for being impulsive in our decisions and the things that we do as well over the next, 7 years, but especially over the next, 6 months in specific. And although, we can be spontaneous and get excited for life, it can lead to hasty judgments and conflicts with ourselves and others if we don't channel this energy wisely, so we must do that. Uranus is square to the ascendant, supports us in breaking free from old restrictions and how we present ourselves to the world. It wants us to break away from just living up to other people's opinions and finding our own opinions and being who we really are. It can influence how we project our values and possessions outwardly, and this can cause shifts in our self-image and how we are perceived, looked upon by others and even ourselves. It may change how we view ourselves during this transit, which could be a good or bad thing. But ultimately, if you do have any, self-image issues and stuff like that as well, this energy allows us to just love ourselves for who we are, because you're only ever going to be you. You're not going to be anyone else. And if we continue rejecting ourselves, especially our inner child, then we're never going to be in peace inside. And this grounding energy of Taurus allows us to find this inner peace. Because this aspect is separating as Uranus goes into Taurus, over this period there may be extra increase in how restless we feel and how much tension we feel within ourselves and in our relationships as well. So it's important for us to ask questions, don't assume, try and apologise for our mistakes that we make and allow other people to apologise to us and to forgive and to let the past go, so that we can embrace the new and step into our authentic individuality. So now I'm just going to talk about the karma of Uranus in Taurus. Uranus in Taurus it's not really going to be peaceful, although it wants us to find more peace within the world and ourselves, because obviously it's going to shake up the status quo and what we think about ourselves and all of that on the individual level, changes in economic stability and stuff like that as well. So this cosmic combination of Uranus in Taurus is like a ball in a china shop, literally shaking things up and leaving a trail of broken teacups in its sort of like wake. As I said, it's a karmic call to let go of outdated karma and release attachments to the past and embrace the path of evolution, change, spiritual, intellectual, scientific, whatever advancement you're into. Evolve is the key word here. Evolve, change. It allows us to be open to rebirth, where past life lessons and unresolved karmic patterns can also surface to be healed and released. And this can happen subconsciously. It doesn't always have to be consciously. So imagine Uranus as the mischievous, sort of like intergalactic troublemaker, sneaking into Taurus's luxurious pasta and causing all sorts of chaos. Suddenly, your well-structured routines, relationships, and predictable days are thrown into, disarray, chaos, as I said. So don't find yourself, if you find yourself impulsively dyeing your hair, as I said earlier, quitting your stable job or pursuing, career as a unicyclist or anything else, of course we have to look after our material concerns. So I would recommend that, if you're good at unicycling, I'm not, if you think you can make a career out of it, go for it, but just make sure you do things that are practical to you, that that you can do. Yes, the outside may be like, no, this is not going to work, but answer that inner calling, make the practical changes, but don't throw too much money and stuff. Don't waste money. Don't waste money. We have to speculate to accumulate, yes, but use your resources wisely. And Uranus in Taurus is just here to remind us that life is too short to be boring. So, we better just buckle up and enjoy the wild and unpredictable ride that Uranus in Taurus can bring, especially to those with strong 11th house, Aquarius, Taurus, 7th house, Libra energy as well, Saturn 10th house energy in their charts as well. And it reminds us through the karmic lessons that can bring to us at this time to not be stubborn. And we've all been there. We all can dig our heels into the ground, and we may, yes, I hear you, I'm not stubborn. Well, we are very willful. What I've noticed is that we typically use our will against ourselves, destructive habits, overindulging in drugs, drink food, toxic relationships, toxic thoughts, and self-destructive behaviours. It takes will, right? It takes will. So redirecting our will into the things that actually empower and improve our lives. And yes, some of you will dig your heels into the ground, refusing to budge even when the universe and life and the people in it keep nudging you, or in some case pushing you, or screaming at you, or saying to you the same things. You're like, nah, it's fine, I'll stay here in my comfort zone. It can be like trying to argue with a toddler over bedtime. You're just kind of asking for a headache there. It can be hard. So because us humans have an old knack for clinging to our old beliefs and opinions like a lifeline, especially our outdated relationships, ways of relating to self and others, and we can become, unyielding, like a brick wall, like, no, I don't want to change. Forget the hurricane and everything leaving. I am going to stay as I am. And then later comes and we realise maybe, just maybe, we could have saved ourselves some trouble by being a little bit more flexible. And believe me, note to self here as well, if I could go back 20 years ago, I would have done a lot of things different, but I can't, and plus, I was enjoying my youth as well. But as we age, like the fine wine, some of us find it sooner, some of us find it later, but hey ho, there comes a time when we have to let go of the past so we can embrace the now and build our future. So the key lesson of Uranus in Taurus is the importance of grounding ourselves and finding stability in the physical world and as well as in our psychological mind, because it all starts there. If we've got junk in our minds, we're going to have junk in our lives, or we're going to tolerate it, So this energy is best used to confront the psychological and emotional and spiritual traumas that you've been refusing to, deal with. A grounding and stability keywords, as I keep on saying. This energy can teach us to appreciate the simplicity, the beauty and abundance that life has to offer, and to kind of develop a sense of security and comfort. Taurus energy reminds us to value our own worth as individuals and to find pleasure and enjoyment in the simple sensory experiences of life, encouraging us to be patient, persistent and determined in pursuing our goals and reminding us the significance of loyalty, reliability and commitment in our relationship, and that includes the relationship to ourselves as well. Additionally, Uranus in Taurus can teach us about the power of nature and our connection to the natural world in this ever-increasing technological world, VR, meta-universes and that. We can forget about the natural environment. So it urges us to nurture and take care of the environment around us and within us. So yeah, taking on board these lessons can open yourself up to like a transformative experience as you open yourself up to change and embracing a more authentic and fulfilling way of life, and sort of like taking a lesson from the cosmos, because it's forever changing. 1 minute Uranus is in Taurus, well, 7 years, but yeah, let's use Mercury. 1 month Mercury is in Aries, then it's in Taurus, then it's in Gemini, so if we just learn a lesson of astrology in a way that nature change, both night and day, and embrace the art of compromise, because the night gives way for the day, the sun makes room for the moon, and then the moon has to make room for the sun. So yeah, it just reminds us that life is too short to hold on to things that no longer serve us, especially stubbornly to prove a point, because we don't want to get out of our comfort zone, because I've put all my time and energy into this relationship, of course get equal share. If you've built up a house, I'm talking about you who may be separated, divorcing, of course, but don't be petty. A lot of the time we get into the petty realms when it comes more about our pride rather than the fact that the experience or the relationship is stagnant and we need to let go. So if we're willing to let go, amazing opportunities can come our way if we're open to evolving. So let us loosen our grip, go with the flow and see where the winds of fate take us. And if you do that, trust me, it can be more exciting than, stubbornly clinging to the same routine. So in terms of past life implications, what sort of past lives are going to come up right now, past life experiences? So yeah, as I said, change is the only constant in life, and boy, does that apply to our, past lives too. Lifetimes where we may have failed to bring stability or to manage our finances, or our sense of self-worth may come to our attention subconsciously or consciously, depending how open you are, how active you are with working with your dream life and stuff. So let's use our imagination and imagine being reincarnated again and again, only to face the same challenges over and over. Well, hello. That's the actual reality of many of us living now. We won't learn our lessons, So talk about deja vu, right? But fear not. Uranus in Taurus is here to shake us up like a kind of cosmic sort of like blender and high speed. And as I said, our beliefs around material wealth and possessions can consciously or subconsciously come to our attention, and it wants us to reassess what truly holds value for us right now. As I said, these disruptions, whatever it is we find now, just pushing us to be more flexible and innovative in our sense of security. Past life experiences where we, as I said, stuck rigidly to our attitudes towards ownership and security. Even in this lifetime, are you being too egotistically? Are you holding on to relationships too much? As I said earlier, it's time to let go. Become more stable within yourself and in your relationships. This is what this energy wants. It can lead to a deeper understanding of the true nature of abundance and self-worth, because a lot of you may think, abundance is wealth and staying in this relationship, I'm not letting go. But hey, you may have a shift, or you may think this relationship, these people, this activity, this self-destructive behaviour gives me my self-worth. You may think, oh, no, actually it doesn't. I want to find new ways to build my self-worth, So yeah, in terms of past lives, this is like a wake-up call from the universe, reminding you that it's time to ditch old patterns and embrace change with open arms. So if you find yourself stuck in the Groundhog Day loop of monotony, repetitiveness, it's time to break free and dance to the rhythm of the cosmos, and the cosmos rhythm is change, yeah? And who knows, maybe in the past life you were the one who invented music, who knows? Well, found it, who knows? But anyway, let go of your fear, leap into the unknown, and remember that even the stars are urging you to bust a move and embrace the exciting possibilities that lie ahead. So now I'm going to talk about how Uranus in Taurus affects relationships. So in terms of family relationships, we can strengthen the bonds in these relationships, but it can also bring a sort of testing phase as well. So yeah, Uranus is all about change, and it can bring disruptions in our family dynamics, and these changes may challenge traditional roles and expectations, leading to a re-evaluation of how family members relate to one another. This process can ultimately strengthen family bonds as individuals learn to adapt, communicate and support each other through these transformative times. But because of, Uranus's sudden and unpredictable nature, it can create tension and conflict in the family unit and whatever family looks like to you. This can come about because of resistance to change. One partner or one family member may want to change, and the other's like, no, this is how we do things, in our family. Yeah. So it's important to remain open-minded, empathetic, practice active listening. Walk away, apologise, refine, change, make plans, be open to changing the plans, and to try and find common ground to navigate the challenges that come up and maintain the integrity of the relationships as well. And while it can introduce turbulence in our family relationships, it can just also gives us the chance to understand our family members more better and to create stronger family bonds. In terms of friendships, these can go under unexpected shifts as well. There can be an emergence of new connections, new people come in, new friends, new lovers, unexpectedly. Or, friendships can change from lovers to friends or friends to lovers. It can work both ways. Old patterns and dynamics within your friendships right now are coming under the spotlight. So, one friend may be the people pleaser and the other one the taker. And the people pleaser may be like, no, I want more give and take, I want it to be more equal. Or you may decide, I'm done with unequal relationships in my life. The people won't change. I've given them time. So you may choose to end, some of you, drastically, every area of your life, and embark on, building a new life for yourself after you burn the whole house down in terms of friendships and stuff. So yeah, negatively also because they can, some friends may struggle to adapt to the changes that one friend may want to do, and this can lead to strain or even an incomplete breakdown of the friendship. So it's important for friends to communicate openly, be flexible, and embrace the potential for growth and evolution. And while it may be unsettling, these changes that come up during the transit can ultimately lead to the development of a more authentic and fulfilling relationships. So now I'm going to talk about how Uranus in Taurus affects co-worker dynamics. So it can bring a sense of restlessness and more of a desire for freedom, which can impact the overall harmony and stability of the workplace. So individuals in their personal life may want change, because when they come to work, this can impact work productivity or, efficiency. So although you may feel compelled, pushed to seek new opportunities or explore different career paths, this can lead to changes in team dynamics and even personal turnover, because as I said, a team may have run with precision before, but now Uranus is in the mix, shaking things up. People may be looking for more stability or different things, to go out on their own, start up a new side hustle or business of their own. So yeah, whatever the changes are, these changes can be good because it can spark creative ideas and unconventional approaches to problem solving, which can increase collaboration. But negatively, it can create friction amongst co-workers, because people don't like change in general. So it's crucial for individuals and organisations to develop open communication and encourage adaptability during this period, and to navigate the unpredictability that can come up, to maintain a productive and harmonious work environment. In terms of committed relationships, unexpected changes can disrupt them, shaking up the stability and routine, and sudden shifts in priorities, a desire for more independence or personal growth, or the emergence of new passions and interests can get in the way of prior commitments. And while these changes can create friction and uncertainty, they can also provide the opportunity for growth and exploration within the relationship. Although, you may choose to say goodbye. As I said, one person may want to leave, another may want to stay. You may be like, no, you can't go, this is half mine, and do everything to keep them. But hey, I know it's hard. I've been there, crying, sobbing my heart out, like, no, this is never going to get better. But sometimes it's just, not sometimes, all the time, it's just best to let people go, and if they come back, it's meant to be, sort of thing, and it can happen, So yeah, so while these changes can create friction and uncertainty, they can also provide the opportunity for growth and exploration within the relationship, even if it means ending the relationship so you can explore without it. Bringing a bit of light-heartedness in. Be gentle with yourself if you are going to end something during this time, or you are, someone leaves you and that. Remember, one person's trash is another person's treasure. So yeah, anyway, in terms of committed relationships, it's crucial for partners to communicate openly, embrace flexibility and support each other through the unforeseen shifts that can come up. By navigating these unexpected changes together, committed couples can strengthen their bond and discover new dimensions of their love and connection, Because sometimes, especially when we separate, we can really squeeze that last bit of love out by being stubborn and holding on and creating obstacles, So try not to do that. Try and part amicably if that's your scenario, And if it's not, and you decide to stay together, try and understand, be open-minded and listen to each other, and bring in the fresh new changes into the relationship that you both desire. And sometimes it can be hard because one partner may desire more change and the other's not. But hey, if you want to keep the partner and the change, maybe a bit out of your comfort zone, but if it's reasonable, it's better to bend a little than to break, So yeah, in terms of hookup relationships and self-partnerships, hookup culture, as you know, is characterised by casual sexual encounters without emotional attachment, and there can be a shift in attitudes and desires in these. The destructive influence of Uranus can prompt us to reassess our approach to casual relationships, and this can lead to a greater emphasis on meaningful connections and emotional intimacy over casual, uncommitted type of things, Because after all, Taurus, fixed energy, stable energy, seeks commitment, rules, defined, can do open relationships and all of that, but needs boundaries and definitions, so yeah. But for some of you want to be more open to exploring hookup relationships and stuff like that. So if you wish to do so, Uranus in Taurus can create a desire for, new experiences, unconventional connections, and it encourages us to break free from traditional relationship norms. So maybe you've been stuck in a committed relationship, or you've only ever did committed relationships all your life before, and now Uranus in Taurus is here. You want to explore the more casual side of things. But because Uranus can lead to instability and unpredictability in hookup relationships, sudden changes and disruptions can come up, causing conflict between partners who are not prepared for such changes. It can also influence materialistic tendencies, leading individuals to focus more on physical pleasure, their own physical pleasure, not the pleasure of the other people involved, and instant gratification. So people may lie just to get what they want, be overly, sexuality is good, very good, but the over-sensual nature of Taurus sometimes can just make us wanting to seek pleasure from all directions, and because it's in Uranus as well. So yeah, this sort of instant gratification and the need for could detract from emotional intimacy, making relationships feel shallow or fleeting, Furthermore, Uranus's rebellious energy can push us to resist commitment for some of us and avoid serious connections in favour of independence and freedom. And this can create challenges in developing stronger bonds or sustaining long-term hookup agreements, or changing a hookup into a committed thing as well. So, sometimes we have to read the writing on the wall. Don't push people to give you things they don't want to give you, there's no point in that. You're worth a lot more. In terms of self-partnerships, individuals can prioritise their own personal growth and fulfilment and allow themselves to undergo the profound changes that Uranus can bring. It can inspire people who are committed to themselves to redefine their goals, values and boundaries, ultimately leading to a more authentic and fulfilling journey of self-love and empowerment and loving on themselves, But negatively, because the uncertainty that Uranus brings, it can just challenge you in your sense of self. So just try and stay as grounded as you can. Be open to new experiences. Be open to dating someone else if they meet your requirements, because a lot of time when people self-partner, it's because they're like, hey, the dating pool is just not my cup of tea, so I'd just rather be on my own. So, and they can get used to being on their own as well. So if you're used to being on your own and someone comes in, check the facts, never ignore red flags, but open your heart a little, because you never know, someone else may bring an addition to your self-partnership. So yeah, so ultimately it's essential to remain open-minded, flexible and self-aware as you embark on a new chapter of your personal relationship with yourself and maybe others, and continue your self-discovery. So now I'm just going to talk about how Uranus and Taurus affect career, personal, spiritual and educational development as well. In terms of career, positively, we can have unexpected opportunities for career advancement. The introduction of new technologies or methods can enhance your productivity and your potential for financial gains and just job satisfaction, just feeling secure and happy in, the work that you do. But negatively, it can create instability and uncertainty, as I said a few times already, because traditional career paths may be disrupted, and a lot of traditional careers are being disrupted right now. But we're always going to need, healthcare, everyone in healthcare, banking, council, governments and all of that. But, these careers are secure, but there's a lot of jobs that, AI and other technologies are taking over. So it's about finding your niche and then being your niche and just focusing on what you're doing your research to see what's outside of the box as well as what's in the box. So yeah. So just be open to being flexible to new ways of working, and just have a willingness to embrace change within the workplace, being more innovative, and make career goals that are going to make your heart sing and go after what you really want. In terms of personal development, it can bring, as I said, a newfound sense of freedom, individuality, as it encourages us to break free from old patterns and be our authentic selves. So this can lead to personal growth in the areas of self-confidence, love, forgiveness, understanding, healing and awareness as well, and just a willingness to take risks in various aspects of your life. You may just feel, you know what, the time is now. Okay, so yeah, it inspires us to explore new hobbies, interests or spiritual practices, expanding our horizons and bringing a sense of fulfillment. But negatively, it can create a sense of restlessness and impatience, as individuals may feel a strong desire for change and may struggle to find stability amongst the shifting tides. So it's essential to approach this transit with an open mind, embracing the opportunities for self-discovery and growth, while also cultivating, developing our resilience and flexibility to navigate any challenges that may come up. In terms of spiritual development, as I said earlier, it can bring about a deep questioning of our beliefs, values and purpose in life. Some of us may feel the strong pull towards exploring new spiritual paths, seeking a deeper connection with the divine, or re-evaluating their existing spiritual practices, which can lead to a heightened sense of spirituality, increased intuition and a greater understanding of the interconnectedness of all beings. On the other hand, Uranus in Taurus can create a sense of upheaval in our spiritual journeys. Existing belief systems may challenge, and it's very important on the spiritual journey, because what I've noticed, even with myself, many others, that we get stuck in one level of existence, and what we have to understand, there's many levels to spiritual development, intellectual development, whatever development it is, and sometimes the horse that took us, or the belief system that took us to a certain point, is not the belief system that's going to take us to a higher level. And it can be challenging to let go of some of the things, because a lot of the times when we delve into the spiritual, it's because of a heartbreak, relationship breakdown, a death or something traumatic like that, so we can cling to these things. But although we can have a dark night of the soul again, which there can be many, in my experiences there is not just one, we can feel confused and doubt and even have a crisis of faith, when we have to question our belief systems. It's normal, but what this energy wants us to do in the spiritual or any development level you're interested in is to let go as you navigate the turbulent time of Uranus in Taurus, and embrace new perspectives, letting go of old beliefs that are keeping you stagnant. Although these challenges and changes can be hard, if you're willing to embrace, they can lead you to a more authentic and profound spiritual experiences, as you are encouraged to question and redefine your spiritual truths. So in terms of educational development, positively it can bring about innovation and change in traditional educational systems. It encourages us to adapt new technologies, teaching methods and subjects that are more in alignment with the changing needs of society. Students may be more open to unconventional learning approaches, leading to a more dynamic and engaging educational experience. But on the other hand, because Uranus brings disruption, which is the key word across all areas, the sudden changes in institutions, curriculum, what you're learning, skill set, whatever, and funding can create uncertainty and challenges for students, teachers and educational policymakers. And the unpredictable nature of Uranus can lead to unexpected events that may stop the progress or continuity of educational programs. So some of you may get bad news, may not get the funding you need, and you may be like, I'm going to give it up for life. Okay, if you don't get your funding and you can't get it, think about alternative route. You may have to go and work for a bit, but while you're working, try and save. And I know it's hard in these times, but I believe where there is a will, there is a way. Think about how you can still learn. Now we live in the age of information. A lot of the things we can teach ourselves, obviously we can't teach ourselves to be a medical doctor or any form of doctor. We do need that, those qualifications, the fundamentals at least, but we can teach ourselves to do many things, especially in finance and trading and spiritual healing and all of that, So just, keep on going, be gentle with yourself if you have a knockback, and try and seek out resources. If it's a no, think of an alternative plan. So overall, the impact of Uranus in Taurus on educational development is a mixed bag. It has the potential to push us, to spur us into positive transformations and develop creativity, especially in the way that we learn things. but it also poses a risk of instability and disruption. So it's essential for individuals and educational institutions to be flexible and proactive to these changes, finding the balance between embracing innovation and maintaining the sense of stability to ensure continued growth and success. So now I'm just going to finish up with talking about the best things for creative professionals, entrepreneurs, alternative healers and singles to do when transiting Uranus is in Taurus. So yeah, in terms of creatives, best use of this energy is to embrace innovation and unconventional ideas, especially when it comes to your artistic expression. Experiment with new mediums or techniques that challenge traditional norms. For example, a graphic designer may explore incorporating virtual reality technology into their work to offer unique experiences to clients. In terms of professionals, the best things for you guys to do is to stay flexible, open-minded in your career, and think outside of the box and be willing to embrace unexpected changes and new things and new ways of doing things. Even if you've been doing the same thing for 20 years, consider updating your skill set or exploring new industries that align with your passions and skill set as well. Entrepreneurs, this is an opportunity for growth using the disruption, because entrepreneurs like that. Finding opportunity in the uncertain is one of the core things that entrepreneurs tend to do. So this is a good time to launch innovative products or services that cater to emerging trends in technology, sustainability or social consciousness. So, look at companies like Airbnb and how they sort of change, revolutionise, the hospitality industry by offering unique accommodation experiences. Although there's been a lot of downsides, but there were pluses. There've been a lot of pluses. Normal homeowners being able to earn money off their properties. So alternative healers can explore cutting edge healing techniques or treatments that align with the changing energies of Uranus in Taurus, incorporating technology or holistic approaches into your practices to provide more comprehensive, in-depth care to your clients. For example, a newer path might integrate telemedicine consultations or offer virtual wellness retreats to reach a wider audience. Lovers, the best thing for you to do is to nurture, being spontaneous and bringing excitement into your relationships, embracing, the unexpected changes with an open mind, curiosity, and seeing them as opportunities for deeper connection and growth with your partner. Planning unique dates or surprises that break the routine and keep the romance alive, such as trying out a new hobby together or planning a spontaneous weekend getaway. Remember that openness and adaptability can strengthen your bond and create lasting memories with your loved ones. Consider exploring unconventional ways to express love and appreciation, like writing or emailing or voice noting heartfelt words or letters, or creating personalised experiences that show thoughtfulness and care. So in conclusion, the transit of Uranus in Taurus carries a lot of different meanings and can have an impact across the various areas of our lives, from the practical and materialistic to the spiritual and psychological. This planetary energy wants to bring transformation into our lives, so it's a time to embrace change, challenge tradition, and tap into your own inner strength, individuality, authenticity, self-love, awareness and creativity. So welcome this transit with open arms and see where it takes you on your journey of self-discovery and evolution. So yeah, that's the end of this special on Uranus transiting in Taurus. Take care and see you next time.